One of the ones the sailors used to use.
That's my spyglass. Yeah, this is exactly a spyglass. This thing is actually one of the most important inventions ever made, and it really is the reason I'm probably sitting here with you. It's the actual tool, not this one, but
Right.
the telescope was really the machine that changed the world the most. And what's so cool about it, it acted like a lever that moved the Earth from being the center of the universe back in Galileo's time.
What year did they invent it?
The telescope was invented around the early 1600s, and there's a popular misconception that Galileo invented it, but he didn't. He actually perfected it. So he took it from 0 to 1, basically. He took this spyglass, which was really never, it's amazing. People were using eyeglasses for many years, and nobody ever thought to go take one lens, take another lens, and go like this. No one had ever done that. There was a guy, Van Leeuwenhoek, and this guy, Hans Lippershey. They had been making glass, and they were experts at making glass in the Netherlands. But Galileo heard about that, and the original devices that they were making could magnify things 2 or 3 times at most. But Galileo realized, hey, I can improve this and then do, what mankind has always dreamt of doing, use it to make money and use it for military purposes. Because with a telescope, you could see a ship in the Venetian lagoon a day or two out before it would come on shore, and you could see it from the ground. So the distance back then was stealth technology. This took away the stealth. It would be like turning off the B-2's ability to have stealth. So he improved it so much, it was just inarguable this would change the world.
So when was the eyeglass invented?
Eyeglass was invented, it's kind of cool. The eyeglass was invented in probably the late 1500s, these lenses.
Wow.
Glass used to be total crap. It would be like looking through a piece of ice today. These lenses are super clear and super clean, modern lenses. This isn't a great telescope, but it's illustrative, and we can use it to do things. But what's so interesting to me, it's just like a quirk of history, is when these lenses were invented. Before then, you didn't, I don't know what your vision is, but mine's about 20/20. It's getting worse as I get older, obviously.
Yeah.
But before then, there were no standards for how good a person's eyesight was until they had, say, the Gutenberg Bible was published. So in the 1400s and 1500s, the first movable fixed type where you had a calibrated standard, where you knew how big the type font was. And you could say, well, Joe can only see something at 5 feet away that Brian can see at 10 feet away or something like that. So then they realized, hey, I can't see what Brian can see, or I can't see what Joe can see. I need some kind of augmentation. And they would put lenses on. So that was in the original direction directly from the Gutenberg Bible to glasses. And then what's so funny is the glasses then led to making a telescope. And then the telescope led to the Earth being moved away from being the center of the universe, which the Gutenberg Bible, in some connotations, suggested that we were. So there's a direct line from the Gutenberg Bible to the glasses to the telescope to then now religion is not so centralized in the age of scientific reason.
Wow. So when they first started using telescopes, what kind of power are we talking about? Like when Galileo improved upon it, you said it was like 0 to 1.
Yeah.
Like how many levels of magnification?
So a good telescope that you can get, and I always joke, I'm not a doctor, but not a real doctor, but the only prescription Dr. Keating makes is that you should buy your kid a telescope. And actually the reason I said this is the reason I'm probably sitting here with you is because I became a scientist thanks to getting a telescope at about age 12. And you can actually see something. I know you've been to the Keck observatories, Mauna Kea, and you've seen the night sky from there, and that is wonderful. But every single thing that Galileo saw with his 20-power telescope, which is not that much.
Not much at all.
You can get one of those, on my website. No, I'm just kidding.
But that was a big improvement.
That was a
Massive
huge improvement. Because now you could see there were craters on the moon. Now you could see there were mountains on the moon. The moon wasn't this perfect crystalline sphere that the Bible and the ancients had talked about. It had flaws, imperfections. It looked like it had oceans. That's why they're called mare, seas, the sea of tranquility.
You know what really bummed me out?
What was that?
When Samsung, when they got exposed for their digital zoom for the moon. That bummed me out. I thought I was taking a real picture of the moon.
That's right.
I was like, this is amazing.
There's
Look what my
flag.
phone can do.
There's the flag.
It looks so clear. Like, how do they do that? And then someone took a blurry photo of a moon on a screen, and it did it to that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it cleared up the image.
It ruined the illusion.
Using fuckery.
They should